But at the same time, Mike, I like this team. I like our rotation. Going into the postseason, there's guys with some experience. And it seems as if with that addition of Manny Ramirez that we got a little more stability.
You got something there.
We got something
there. The
there.
Dodgers have something there. There's no doubt. The staff, in my opinion, you need a stopper. You need a stopper. You need a Brandon Webb. You need a Jake Peavy. You need a Tim Lincecum. The Dodgers don't have that. Derek Lowe isn't a stopper. Chad Billingsley isn't a stopper. Kuroda isn't a stopper. Brad Penny's on the DL. He's come off today, but he's not a starting pitcher. That's what scares me about the Dodger team. They have 3 guys that can get there, but those 3 guys, can they give you a strong 6 days in the playoffs? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Kuroda is so up and down. Billingsley's your best starter, and he's 23 years old. Derek Lowe is ADD freak. You don't know what you're getting out of Derek Lowe.
Maddox is just pitching batting practice.
Maddox doesn't. I'm not even. Maddox will come out of a bullpen in the postseason. I can imagine. So that's the only thing that concerns me.
And future president, let me tell you this. Even back when we go back to the heyday of Greg Maddux winning 20 games in Atlanta, he still did not perform very, very strongly in the postseason.
Maddox. Bad postseason stats.
Bad postseason
Absolutely.
stats.
Very good point. Now, National League wide open, American League wide open. I think the Dodgers.
This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Dodgers are definitely a sleeper in the National League. They could be a sleeper in the World Series, winning this whole thing.
We did pick them in the beginning.
Well, yeah, it's kind of going with the heart. But honestly, I don't see this team winning a World Series. To be totally honest with you, it wouldn't totally surprise me if they went to the World Series, only because you make good points. This team is like right there. They're like right there. And a team like this, they're 3 games over 500, and they're 3.5 games in front in your division, which is disgusting. It's sad. And who's going to complain about it? I'm not going to complain about it as a Dodger fan. That's the Arizona Diamondbacks' fault. They haven't won enough games. But the team has the making of winning games. They really do.
Now, a lot of your listening audience is probably listening to this and saying, you guys are a bunch of, you guys don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that very well may be the case. However, if you look at all the teams in Major League Baseball as a whole right now, there isn't that one team.
Stands out. No, not at all.
There isn't that one team that stands out, okay?
No.
So I honestly believe that we got a puncher's chance. I would not want to play the Dodgers in the playoffs if I were any team.
And the $230 million New York Yankees will not be in the postseason this year. If I told you that on September 9th or 10th, whatever it is today, if I told you that they have a $230 million payroll and they are 10 games out of first place in their division, would you believe me?
Yes.
It's pretty sick.
Well, it's a tough division. I mean, they'd be way in first place in our division, so.
But you got to spend your money wisely, though. I mean, look at the days back when the Yankees did their things. Can you name me what they had? Scott Brocious, Chuck Knobloch, Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, Jorge Posada. The staff was...
Bernie Williams.
Yeah, exactly. Bernie Williams. And
those were good teams.
But did you hear the names that I mentioned? Most of those guys...
They're not big-time guys.
Under $5 million. Bernie Williams making $12 at the time. That's a lot of money back then. It's all about camaraderie.
Staff, you had Clemens.
It's all about unity. This team doesn't have it. They don't care about each other. You think Derek Jeter and A-Rod really care about each other? I mean, A-Rod really cares about Madonna right now. That's kind of what I'm telling you, is that it's 2 totally different mindsets of teams. Chuck Knobloch would have done anything for Scott Brocious. Those guys probably went out every night together. And that's totally different from when the Yankees did their thing then and did their thing now. Offensively and defensively, you can build a structure. You can build your team around unity and camaraderie, around guys who know baseball, hard-nosed guys. You need a pitching staff. Now, the Yankees don't have it. They haven't had it in a long time.
Mike, okay, so let me bring this up, guys, and of course, future president, correct me if I'm wrong here, but take a look at that team going back to the New York Yankees, those championship teams that grinded out wins, that were just top to bottom professionals and very, very strong in the clubhouse. Does the '88 Dodgers resemble anything of those guys?
I was 5 years old at the time. I'm going to be honest with you. At 5 years old, I didn't know what the Dodgers were. I was about 9 years old when I became a fan. But I saw videotapes, and the Ron Says and the Sochas and the Gibsons, obviously. I've heard all the stories about it. I've seen tapes about it. I heard about the one heart in the clubhouse, about everybody loving each other. I don't know. You can attest to that more.
That's
more
exactly what we saw. We did have a stopper. We had a very, very hot pitcher, just like you do in the NHL playoffs. You ride a very hot goalie.
Yeah.
We had Oral Hershiser.
Right.
The guy had a gazillion inning scoreless streak, and we just rode him to victory. And of course, none other than Mike Scioscia lifted him, hoisted him up on the pitcher's mound in Chavez Ravine when we beat the Oakland A's, and that was a very, very special team. And I think that the Yankees teams of those days had something very special about them, and I honestly believe that this Dodger team is getting to that point. We may not be there just yet, but I think that there are a lot of resemblances.
Yeah. We're going to try to go to 323 again. 323. You there, 323?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. Welcome to MnM Sports Talk. What's your name?
My name is John.
Hey, John. How are you? Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
About Brett Favre. How he got injured. How are they gonna win without him now?
Did you say Brett Favre being injured? Is that what you said?
No, I mean, sorry, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady is now the Patriots, in my opinion, John. Tom Brady is going to be Tom Brady list. Patriots are going to be a 9-17. If you look at their schedule, it's very easy. I mean, they don't play really anybody in their division. The Jets are probably the only better team that they play. Not really impressed with what they're doing in their division. But I see them still winning 9, maybe 10 games at the best. That doesn't do much for me. People picked him up in their fantasy team thinking he's going to do anything. Still, the guy doesn't. I don't think he's going to do anything for them. But now we're going to find out what Belichick is all about. Their head coach, Belichick, is, in my opinion, a very good coach. Their defense will keep them in games. Can Matt Castle score 14 to 17 points a game? We'll find out. But I just don't see the Patriots doing anything. Tom Brady was everything to the Pats.
But, John, let me just disagree with Mike, the genius here. I will say this. I honestly believe that coaching alone and the talent and the professionalism that they have on that football team will actually carry them just fine throughout the season. They may not have the offensive firepower without a Tom Brady. I think Matt Castle will actually just right this ship. I think that he'll kind of manage the football game. He's not going to make too many
So a Trent Dilfer type guy with Baltimore Ravens?
A Trent Dilfer, but I will say this, and again, I'm not trying to be an SC homer here, but the guy was riding the pine behind a Heisman Trophy winner twice and a Super Bowl MVP. The kid's a very smart kid. He's a very bright kid. The Patriots drafted this kid knowing that they found something in him, and he's been sitting on the pine for 4 years, learning the system inside and out, knowing exactly what to do. I don't think that they're going to ask him to do too much, but I also think they're going to take the ball away from him. You're not going to see a dink and dunk off.
So how many wins do they have this year?
I think the Patriots go 10-6.
So they win 10 games.
I honestly agree with you. I think they'll make the playoffs.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I think it'll be a little hard-pressed for them to make a deep run into the playoffs, John. But I honestly believe that we're seeing a 10-6 ball club.
We'll see.
And just like you said, Mike, you said their schedule is horrible. The AFC East is down.
Yeah.
So if you just look at the AFC East in itself, they got 4 wins there times 2.
Yeah.
That's 8 wins just in their division.
Right.
You pick up a couple outside of the division, you got 10 wins going into the
Well,
playoffs.
we'll see. And I picked the Jets this week. Armin, intern, did you pick the Jets this week?
No, I actually picked the Pats.
You took the Pats. Okay,
Yeah, I
now,
took the Pats.
John, what about you? John, the